Hey YouTube, this is PokéCastXVll here, and today I have a very different kind of video for you. So normally what I tend to do is I tend to script everything that I want to say and then read it off, and then afterwards I edit the audio and kind of crop out everything that I want to say. But this is more of a natural, I guess a natural kind of video where I'm just kind of talking about a subject. So today really what I wanted to talk about is the weekend just gone. So the last weekend I was up at Birmingham. I was commentating as one of the commentators up there for the regional championships, and there were a lot of interesting decks that kind of featured on the day. One deck that I really liked is actually one of the decks that I want to talk about today. So the deck that really kind of took my interest, and one that we didn't think was going to feature at all, was Vikavolt. So this is Vikavolt and Tapu Bulu, but let's have a quick look at Vikavolt, and then we can kind of go into more analysis as to why it's so good. So Vikavolt is a stage 2 Pokemon. It has 150 HP, it is a lightning type, and it's got an ability called Strong Charge. So once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a grass and a lightning energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like, and then you shuffle your deck. So why is this so good? Well, first thing, and it's worth keeping in mind that it does have an attack called Electro Cannon, which is something which could be very significant, because with the Choice Band you do hit 180, which can knock out some EXs and some GX Pokemon. But Electro Cannon is for 1 lightning and 3 colorless. But the downside to that is that you discard 3 energy. That is Vikavolt. It's a stage 2. So normally we think stage 2 Pokemon are quite slow in the format, but this deck has kind of proven that actually it's really good. I think the format is kind of slowing down a bit more as we get closer and closer to just being a predominant Sun and Moon onwards rotation. But yeah, so what Pokemon do Vikavolt best work with? So it specifically says grass and lightning types. So in terms of the Pokemon, I guess, that best suits this deck is Tapu Bulu GX, which was a promo. And in terms of Birmingham, we weren't sure how much Tapu Bulu we were going to see. I think we expected it more in Lurantis GX, Tapu Bulu Lurantis GX, which did actually turn up quite a bit. But we were surprised because I guess we weren't sure if people were going to be able to obtain Tapu Bulu in enough time for the tournament. So Tapu Bulu is a GX Pokemon. It's a grass type with 180 HP with 2 attacks and 1 GX attack. So the first attack is Horn Attack, which is 30 damage for 1 grass, and then you have Nature's Judgment, which is a fantastic attack. It's got 2 grass and a colorless, deals 120 damage, and then you may discard all energy from this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 60 more. So just on this one attack alone, you can do 180 damage, which knocks out a lot of things within the format. When you consider that you add a Choice Band on top of this then deals 210 damage, which is kind of in the range of things like a Alolan Ninetales GX. But on top of that, you have Tapu Wilderness GX, which is 150 damage, and in the process you heal all damage from this Tapu Bulu GX. So this is really great, especially again you can add a Choice Band to it, which takes it up to 180 damage, so you can KO something and in the process heal all damage from your Tapu Bulu GX. And so you can probably kind of see the synergy with the deck, and I guess the synergy that the deck has, in the sense that Vikavolt is pretty much used for its ability in Strong Charge, and you attach grass energy and you attach lightning energy. You can attach 1 of each per turn, and the lightning energy fills up the colorless spot of the Tapu Bulu GX for its Nature's Judgment attack, or in this case a Tapu Wilderness GX, and the grass is then used to fill up the grass requirements for the attack. And then every turn you can just keep spamming these energies, so Tapu Bulu can just keep attacking turn after turn and really apply the pressure on your opponent. Once you get something like 2 Vikavolts out, you're more or less attaching like 4 energy every turn from your deck onto your Pokemon, and then you can even attach an energy from your hand, so that's like 5 energy per turn. One thing that does tend to happen with these decks is that you do tend to run yourself out of energy cards, only because your deck only plays a certain amount of energy. But with Nature's Judgment, you do discard the energy to the discard pile, where you can play something like Brock's Grit to put Pokemon and energy back into your deck and then keep spamming your Vikavolts. And so that's pretty much the core of the deck, and as we were kind of saying, this Tapu Bulu just hits so many good numbers within the format. And I guess other Pokemon that you can include, so we did actually feature one on the stream. It included one of the new Tapu Kokos, which was the promo, and 2 Tapu Lele GXs. Tapu Lele GX is just so good in this current meta game. I think it's almost a staple for every deck. And with Tapu Lele GX, you can search out just your one-off supporters, like for example Bridget, like Broxgrit. You could also search out Skylar if you want to get the rare candy out and then go from a stage 1 to a stage 2 in getting your Vikavolts out. But like I said, we did feature one on stream, and this is a deck that was used for that particular tournament. And this is one that I do like a lot, a very simple and powerful deck. And so you do have Field Blower in there, which is again it's a really good card in this format, just because you can remove not only stadiums but choice bands as well, because choice band is featuring in almost every deck. And you also have Heavy Ball in there, because let's not forget that Vikavolt has a 3 retreat cost, and of course Tapu Bulu GX has 3 retreat as well. So it does give you access in searching out a lot of these Pokemon within your deck. Let's also not forget that Tapu Bulu GX, even without discarding the energy hits 120, that's enough to knock out a Garbodor, and it can also one-shot a Drampa GX, which again is a very popular Pokemon that's featured in quite a lot of decks, especially because how splashable it is that it's only a colourless Pokemon. The other random text that I do quite like is a Skylar, and of course the 3 Floatstone, because your Pokemon do have very heavy retreat costs, especially the Vikavolt. You don't normally want that in the active spot unless you want to attack with it. And as we briefly mentioned, the Bridget, which is great in getting out 3 Pokemon to set up. What's great about Bridget is that it specifically says 1 EX Pokemon or 3 Pokemon that aren't EXs. Because this was printed before GXs were even in the format, you can search out, 3 GXs if you really wanted to. You can search out, 3 Tapu Bulus, and a split of 8 to 3 Grass and Lightning Energy. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to kind of discuss with you today, was this deck that I really liked over the course of the weekend that we were streaming at. If you do want to watch the archives of the stream, I will put the link within the description box below. You can check out all the matches there, and you can check out all the decks that featured. As well as, if you want to, you can also find me on Facebook, and you can check out more Pokemon related content with the annotations at the end of this video. But otherwise, thank you again very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.